Hey everybody, back again to check out some more metal albums. Most of these I picked up a little while ago. I just haven't gotten around to speaking about them. And before I go any further, a couple days ago I put out that review of Dead by Dog Volume 1, and I was definitely taken aback by the response on that. I mean, I think I have like close to 3,000 views in just a couple days when generally like 30 to 100 people watch my stuff generally. And picked up like 50 subscribers overnight, generally positive comments. So that was really cool to see. Thanks for checking it out. I've never really had any ambitions for this channel outside of maybe, hopefully getting a couple hundred people a video to check it out would always be good enough for me. And just in a small way participating in my passion, which is listening to music and collecting music. So with that said, 4 albums we're going to be looking at. This is the newest one here. This is Ego Dissolution, the debut album by the American death metal band Ancient Death, released on Profound Low Records in 2025. So, right away I was drawn to this release as soon as I saw that album cover. In many ways unique, but in many other ways, what does that remind you of? If you've been into death metal for more than a month, that's definitely a cause of death influence there by Obituary. And so beyond that artwork, the band, like Ancient Death, pretty obvious name for a metal band, but never heard it before, And I'd say this is a progressive take on old school death metal. It's kind of, you got your Obituary solos, you got some bolt thrower riffs thrown in there, morbid angelisms all over the place, but it's also interspersed with lighter kind of post-rock passages that bring to mind the classic years of Isis and Cult of Luna. But it goes further than that. There are occasional female vocals throughout that, again, bring to mind Isis if you think about the background female vocals on Oceanic, and then maybe reference Cult of Luna and their work with Julie Christmas. So this was a pretty unique album. Stayed in the car for quite a while, and I don't really have any favorite songs on here, but Journey to the Inner Soul is pretty cool, and it's one of those songs with Journey in the title that it definitely fits. Gonna look at an old popular one, but new to my collection. This is Paradise Lost, and their second album from 1991, Gothic. A genre-defining milestone in the existence of Gothic metal. My favorite songs on here are Shattered and the instrumental Angel Tears. Now, historically speaking, I am not a huge Paradise Lost guy. I've always said I like them, don't love them. But they played Lee's Palace in Toronto back in May, and call it a poser move if you want, but just a pretty legendary band at a small venue. I had the week off work. I said I'm definitely going to go to that. And the song selection was all over the place, a good mix. The newest album from like 5 years ago, Obsidian, I've heard fans, some like it, some don't. And I'm forgetting the song titles now, but my 2 favorite songs off Obsidian were both played live on that day, so that was pretty cool. But the highlight for me for sure was the first song of the encore, which is Ember's Fire. That's probably one of their biggest songs, and like maybe an obvious pick, but I think that is like pretty much a perfect metal song. One of the best metal songs ever, I'd say. The lyrics, the vocal performance, especially the guitars. The guitars are always the highlight of Paradise Lost for me, especially the lead guitarist, Gregor McIntosh. And I purposely sat like near the front, but to the side, just maybe within 10 feet of him, just watching him do his thing. And watching him rip that Ember's Fire solo, again, just feat for me, was definitely something to remember. And again, are these obvious picks? I'm not sure, but Gothic and Icon, in my opinion, the two best Paradise Lost albums. Still talking about shows. I guess a month or two ago, I had tickets to see Panzerfaust in Toronto. It was their hometown 20th anniversary show. And I bought my ticket, and I just had a horrible day at work, and I just said, I ain't doing it today. Which was a shame. Panzerfaust, I've always been kind of like indifferent to them on record, but I saw them live quite a few years ago opening for Satyricon. I thought they were really awesome live, and so many people that I respect praised them, so I was looking forward to that show, but in the end, I didn't go. Good news is they're back in town in September, and I do plan on attending that show. Next up, Satanic War Master, Revelation of the Night on Werewolf Records. So this is a compilation by this Finnish black metal heavyweight released in 2008. So it contains 2 EPs. You have Of the Night, released in 2004, and Revelation, released in 2008. As I've stated before about Satanic War Master, they are one of the big names, probably one of the top 3 or 4 names of Finnish black metal, but to my ears, they've always been very Norwegian sounding to me. Very Old Dark Throne and Old Emperor. But then you proceed to look at some of my favorite songs on here. Chronicles has a heavy Old Burzum influence. I really like the Celtic Frost inspired The Sign of the Master. And my favorite track here is probably Sign of Fighter's Storm, which is a longer track that really has a cool riff switch up near the end. And another great release by this band. I got their newest album at Dead by Dog, but haven't really listened to it yet. Finally, we're going to look at an old album that I don't think I've really spoken about on camera. That being Surrender to All Life Beyond Forms by Dark Castle, released in 2011 on Profound Lore Records. I bought this when it came out. It's a 2-piece American doom band, and this is their second release, again from 2011, and Metal Archives has them as still being an active band, but again, it's been about 15 years now and no new music. The first album I recall being a little more like kind of a not stonery, but more of a doom kind of thing. This here increases the extreme metal, I'd say, and the vocals by Stevie Floyd, much more of a screamed metal vocal than a doom vocal for sure. My favorite song on here is definitely the first song on the title track, Surrender to All Life Beyond Form. And I also recall seeing Dark Castle perform live in 2011, opening for Yob. I still remember that was a really awesome performance that kind of blew me away. Who else was playing? The Toronto band Sons of Otis. And the same way that the title track is my favorite song here, I have a very clear memory of that song just tearing the house down when it was performed live. So Dark Castle, hope to hear some new music from them one day. That's it for me for now. See you next time.